Hi, I'm Russ Hissom. Here at Utility Accounting and Rate Specialists, we just don't only talk about accounting stuff and rate stuff and things like that, although that's very important, but we also talk about productivity because part of your job is not only coming up with the financial impacts of what you do, the rate impact, and all the business process impacts and efficiencies and all of that, but part of it too is you have to communicate your projects and your outcomes to your oversight boards, to management, and you also have to manage projects. So the thing we're talking about today is using Kanban for managing projects. Now you might say, well, what is Kanban? Could it be a band with lots of cowbell? That seemed to fit. Or maybe a group of optimists that we can do anything. Or a band of cans. Maybe it could be the pessimists that don't like the cans, that are always optimistic about things. Or could it be a project management tool? Well, you're wondering how many more corny references I can find for the word can. Of course, it's a project management tool. Well, how can you use it effectively? It's a tool for teams and individuals to visually manage projects and assign tasks. So on your project teams, you have folks that are really text oriented and can get down into the details. And you have other folks that are more visually oriented when it comes to managing projects, doing work, doing assignments and things like that. You have that third group of people that are neither and maybe don't care, but that's for another day. But in any case, for your visual folks, this is a really effective tool, and there's software products that allow you to assign projects to individuals and tasks and break it down in more detail, and then also show progress, which generates enthusiasm. Your basic Kanban model has just 3 categories. Category 1 is your to-do list, which is a listing of all the projects. Category 2 is in progress, the projects that are in progress, and those are sorted by priority. And then completed projects. So it sounds pretty basic, but visually it can be impactful. So again, it's not complicated, but the visual effect is very useful, especially for those folks on your team that are more visually oriented. It gives a sense of urgency, and when it comes to project review meetings, it'll help you stay on tasks, shows accomplishments, and depending on what type of software that you use, and you can use paper as well, but software allows you to assign tasks to individuals' inboxes, and they in turn do the tasks, complete the tasks, mark off that they're completed, and you're available to have that information when you have project update meetings. So let's take a quick look at Kanban in action. So here we are in action. This is a tool called Notion, although there's lots of tools like this. And like I said, paper works well. The whiteboard is really a great impact. So this is just like an electronic whiteboard. But you see the categories that I was discussing earlier: to do, in progress, and complete. So here's a listing of projects. We have these listed by priority. And for example, we're performing a water cost of service study for a client. So we have that in to do, and then once we get going on this, we put it in progress. Now what this doesn't show is if you have a network available, and Notion is a networkable product, you can then assign various tasks, and we would break this down further underneath this, and then you can assign those tasks to individuals. It would show up in their inbox, would have their name on it. They would be responsible for it as well. So you can get a stack of projects going, and then when they're done, they slide over here. Now it sounds very simple, very simplistic, and it is. But then again, it helps you keep a handle on what projects you have coming up, which ones are in progress, which are complete. Again, if you get the greater detail of assigning the tasks to individuals, that would show up here as well. Folks can report on this when it comes to project update meetings. And I found it over the years, even before it was called Kanban, to be a really effective tool to use. So some of the tools that are used for Kanban, like I said, the whiteboard is a great way to go. That's where it all started. And then there's apps: Notion, Todoist, Asana, Monday. Other apps are in this category. You can find many of those. If you have an ERP system as part of your computer software, maybe there's a Kanban add-on or something like it. It can be very effective. And so these tools are interactive. You can assign tasks. You can record questions and record completions as well. But again, you can make it as complicated or as simple as you'd like. And sometimes when it comes to project management, simpler is better. It doesn't always have to be the more complicated computer application. So Kanban, again, simple, effective, visual project management tool. So sometimes simpler is better, but then again, you can make this as complicated as you like. Give it a try, and maybe it'll work for your project management.